On the road. Ooh, thank you, Deronda. Did anybody else see that? All right. So I'm going to, do I hit continue? Does everybody else have to hit continue? Okay.
Yes.
I think it's just you since you have control of the screen.
Okay. All right. So a couple people emailed and said they wouldn't be able to attend, but they wanted to get the meeting recorded. So we're going to try that. And that might be a good idea to do for all the meetings in the future, just so we have those so people can access them if they are not able to attend. But I'll begin by welcoming everyone. I believe everyone knows each other. But just as a reminder, we will do introductions here in just a moment. My name's Leslie Whitty. I am the Vice President of Outreach and Communications for the board. And I am glad to see each and every one of you. So thank you for making time for this meeting. I sent out a survey. I don't know how many of you were able to respond to that. The link is still active, so you can still complete that. And I would encourage you to do so. It's just good to get input from participants on how best to structure this meeting and what our goals are and what we each want and need from these meetings. So I am going to switch to share screen. All right, and we will begin with introductions. What I would like you to do is the following, and we will go in order of whoever is ready first. We're going to try to keep these moving so we get through the introductions quick. But one of the items that was suggested is we always do introductions, just it's a good reminder so everyone knows who everyone is and who they work for. So for your introduction, if you would introduce yourself first and last name, give your job title, who you work for, and then one of the following. You can give a fun fact about yourself, you can reveal a guilty pleasure, or you can tell us your favorite fill in the blank. Favorite food, favorite movie, favorite whatever. But a lot of times those things, I may remember those things better than your exact job title, but it helps me keep all those things together. So I've already given my first and last name, my job title, and who I work for. So I will say, a fun fact about me is, and I don't even know if this is fun, but I have 3 children, and between the 3 of them, they all really liked living in my stomach. I had about 75 hours of labor total spread out through the 3 of them. So not really fun. I remind them of this quite often. So first one was 33 and a half hours. All right, next person, who's ready to go?
I'll go.
All right.
So my name is Kim Myers. I am the Dean of Workforce Solutions at Sky CTC. Fun fact, most days it's fun anyway. I'm a foster adoptive parent, and I have 6 kiddos at home between the ages of 4 and 13.
And that deserves a round of applause right there. Very good. All right, next person.
I'll go.
All right.
Derek Olive, as it's there on my screen. Hello, everybody. Director, Continuing and Professional Development. I work for Western Kentucky University, aka WKU. And one not so fun fact about me is I almost single-handed caused the only Warren County Jail riot when I was a food service director for Canteen Service Company by serving the entire jail, or half the jail, not the entire jail, pink spaghetti. So my team ran out of red spaghetti sauce, and they felt that it was appropriate to use red food coloring in place of that. So, red and white noodles makes pink, not red. So that's what I did. That's my not so fun fact. And
Wow.
almost lost the contract, but I still got it. I still made it, but they lost it eventually. But I wasn't there when that happened.
All right, pink spaghetti. I got it. It's in here for the duration. Good job.
Yep.
Next up.
I'm Amy Thomas. I work for Butler County Skills U. I'm the instructor and the college career navigator. Fun fact is that my family owns Strutting Rooster Farms, and then we also rehabilitate dogs and take dogs in on the farm and rescue them to rehabilitate them. So.
Aw, how many do you
Yeah.
have now?
10, and they run on the farm.
I did not know that. That's very sweet.
I love dogs.
I'm right there with you. All right, who's going next?
I'll go. John Swords, President CEO of the Workforce Board. Fun fact, I love pink spaghetti. I am somewhat of a coffee snob. I've been roasting my own coffee beans for about 15 years. So that's just something I like to do in my spare time. And then drink lots of coffee.
Well, I would imagine so. How do you smoke them? Is there a smoker?
You roast them. You roast.
Or, okay, how do you roast them?
Well, there's all kinds of different roasting mechanisms you can buy online or in store, but there's drums, there's ones that twirl around, but you basically just put them on heat and spin them around. You can actually roast coffee beans in a popcorn popper. It's just blowing hot air, really hot air over the beans to turn them from green to brown.
Well, I did not know that. I just get them.
I will bore you. I could go way into detail on it, but I won't do that for
Oh, we're good. We're good.
audience.
All right, who's next up?
I'll go Paul Granowski with Ottoman Area Community Services. The music playing in the background is I'm on hold for 2 hours now, trying to cancel a reservation. But my fun fact is that, or guilty pleasure, is that I'm a chocoholic.
You're a what?
I'm a chocoholic. I love
Chocoholic. I
chocolate.
didn't know if you said chalk or shop. Have you ever had Mexican chocolate?
I have not.
You need to. They have it like at Target, and it's in bars, like those Lindt bars, and
Yeah.
Mexican chocolate with chili powder, and it has a slight burn, but then it has the sweetness. It's so good.
Sounds like I need to try it.
Yeah, put that on your list. All right, who we still need?
Suppose I can go.
All right.
My name is Bill Sandell. I'm a workforce development consultant with the Office of Employer and Apprenticeship Services. We're the part of the Education Workforce Cabinet, and I cover the Cumberlands and the South Central regions. And let's see, fun fact. I am ADD when it comes to hobbies. So I'm willing to try almost any hobby, and I've spent far too much money on equipment and tools on all the various dozens of different hobbies that I've tried over the years. So, but I love doing crafty stuff and building things and stuff like that. So yeah.
So when you find it, you're all in.
I dive in way too much, and then after a while I get bored and try something new.
Well, you are becoming an expert in many different fields. So there's that. Deronda, what about you?
My name is Deronda Hawthorne. Job title is I'm the office manager here at the South Central Workforce Development Board. I as well grew up on a dairy farm. It's all I've ever known of my family. I've never knew of my parents having anything other than a dairy farm. So I can milk a cow. I will not drink a glass of milk. Call that weird, but I will not. Grew up with 2 brothers, so milk is not for me. But can be for hire. I can drive a tractor, roll hay, anything you need, summer help, hit me up.
All right. Who do we still need?
Probably just me.
Okay.
And me.
Okay. Okay.
I'm Denise McDonald, and I work for I'm the executive director for Logan County Good Samaritan. And I don't know if it's a fun fact or a guilty pleasure, but in my mid-50s, I'm looking at getting my motorcycle endorsement so that I can drive a Can-Am with my husband. So,
Ooh. I think that qualifies as both. I have never ridden on a motorcycle.
oh, I love it, but we had to sell our Harley because my husband will soon be 70 years old and he can no longer, because of arthritis, he can no longer work the clutches.
Mhm.
So we sold the Harley and we're looking at buying a type of Can-Am Spider that I'll be able to drive also.
So is that one that has like a seat beside it?
No, but it's one of them that has the two wheels in the front and one wheel in the back.
Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah, learn something right there. All right. Paula, I think you,
Okay, yes.
okay.
My name is Paula Brooks, and I'm the job placement specialist for the Tim County area for the Office of Vocational Rehab. And a fun fact about me was that I have two daughters. They're 33 and 35, and we were all in college at the same time at the same college. Fun times.
Did you have any classes together?
No, that would embarrass them too. No, I had instructions. No way.
Leslie, I think I still need to go. My name is Shannon Gottke. I am a partnership ambassador. I work for Career Team. I don't know if John is still on here, but John Swords dubbed my cartoon counterpart as Johnny Bravo because of the hairstyle on one of our calls. He said that as cartoon counterparts go, I have Johnny Bravo covered. So,
well, Johnny Bravo is pretty cool.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, he was a cool guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is there anyone who still needs to introduce themselves?
I haven't went yet. My name's Aaron Pointer. I'm the Regional Reentry Coordinator with the South Central and Cumberland's Workforce Boards. I don't know. I'm not very interesting. My favorite snack, and my wife will attest to this, but we have always got the Haribo or whatever, the gummy bears on tap at my house. Like I absolutely, like that is my favorite snack. We've always got them stocked up at my place. So that's it. Oh, and I really love Reese's and, Reese's peanut butter cups. And my daughter's name, interestingly enough, is Reese. So that's pretty funny.
Well, yeah. Did the gummy bears make you talk in a different voice?
What is the best color?
Okay, interestingly enough, people kind of get this mixed up, but the green are actually strawberry flavored. And so not a lot of people know that, and they are delicious and my favorite. And my daughter likes the white ones. So, and I don't even know what their flavor is, but that's something we do every day. I get home from work, I get a handful of gummy bears and we share them.
I did not know green was strawberry.
The more you know.
That's right. That's right.
And the white ones are pineapple. I love those.
All right, so when you're saying white, I call those clear.
Clear, yeah.
Like clear, yeah.
Yeah.
The clear.
I didn't know what flavor they were. They're a good flavor is all I know. All right, Leah, I don't think you've gone, have you?
I have not.
Okay.
My name is Leah Krischer. I am one-stop operator, work for Career Team and South Central Workforce Board. I think a guilty pleasure of mine is I love to have a lot of flowers outside, any kind of flowers. So I overindulge in spending with flowers in the spring and watch them grow all summer. So I love flowers and doing perennials outside so I can see what's going to pop up next year. Sometimes they have no rhyme or reason, but they're all beautiful. So that's a very guilty pleasure of mine, and I really spend too much money on that.
Well, as long as you keep them living, that's my challenge.
They live. I love doing that. So they're beautiful.
All right. Is there anyone who has not introduced themselves yet?
not went. I'm Priscilla Schwartz, and I work for Passport Health Plan. I'm the Community Engagement Specialist for Medicaid Region 4. And a fun fact is I'm retired from the state with 31 years of service and working on my second career. So good to be with you all.
Very good. Very good.
Leslie, I need to still go.
Yeah.
My name's Lindsay Brown, and I work for the South Central and the Cumberland's Workforce Boards. My job title is the Economic Recovery Coordinator, but I'm a lot like Leah and Deronda. I was born and raised on a farm, but I love canning. I love gardening, all that good stuff. But as far as Leah, my Mother's Day gift was all the flowers I bought for myself. Per my husband.
Yes.
That was plenty enough money. So I enjoy doing that too. Water them every single night and just watching them grow and see how beautiful they are on the porch and throughout the house or around the house.
Very good.
That's my Mother's Day gift as well.
Yep.
Well, I got one from my mother's mom and it's already dead. So I just need y'all's help. And Pam, Pam hadn't gone.
My name is Pamela Pittman, and I'm with the Senior Community Service Employment Program. I'm the Job Placement Specialist. And a fun fact, I guess, I'm kind of a word nerd. I love to spell and play Scrabble and words with friends, just anything word and letters related.
Very good. And there's all kinds of cool apps that you can play around with, when you have downtime. So it's a good time. It's a good time to be a word nerd. All right. Is there anyone else?
I haven't gone.
Okay.
My name is Hannah Kiefer. I am employed with the Department of Corrections as a reentry coordinator for District 3. And my fun fact is I grew up next to Kentucky State Penitentiary and in a little white house right next door. And so, and now my house is a museum and the electric chair is housed in my nursery. So when I was little.
Oh my goodness, really?
Yes. And my bedroom that I shared with my sister, my middle sister, instead of ballerina wallpaper, when they redid it to make it into a museum, there's now a wall of illegal contraband memorabilia. So kind of a wall of like shivs and weapons. So,
oh, wow.
Interesting. Wow. I toured it a couple years ago and it was kind of surreal.
Yeah, that would be pretty wild to go into your former room and see the electric chair.
I should also say my dad was the warden of the penitentiary, so that's why we were living next door.
Right. But it was not a museum until after you moved.
Right.
So that's good. You didn't have the electric chair while you were there. That's good. All right.
If you'd like to tour it, it's open for the public to tour. So
where is that?
Eddyville, Kentucky. It's about an hour and 45 minutes from here. Land between the lakes, Lake Barkley, that area.
All right. And I'm not trying to rush you guys. On my screen, I can just see like 4 or 5 faces, so I can't see everyone. Is there anyone who has not yet introduced themselves? Okay, I'll take that as a no. So we will move on to our next slide. I tried to start integrating as much of the feedback from the survey I sent out. And one of the things, it was mentioned actually a couple times, was like a energizer kind of activity or icebreaker. And so I started thinking about that and what would be appropriate for us, because we were all coming from all different roles. We've got, lots of different backgrounds. And so what I chose is I'm going to show you a video clip. It lasts approximately 1 minute. But I think it really matches the tone of what we all do. in our day-to-day jobs. This is a clip from, I think it was 1997, I'm not for sure. But this is one of my personal heroes, Mr. Rogers, who I just adore. And this is him accepting his Lifetime Achievement Award at the Emmys, and just what he says when he accepts that award. And as he's talking, just think about yourself, think about your job. And I thought it would be a good energizer to propel us forward. So here we go.
Oh, it's a beautiful night in this neighborhood.
Oh, it's buffering. Okay, well, apparently my connection speed is slow, so we won't get to hear his full speech. But one of the thing that he said that really got me is, as he was accepting his award, he asked the audience to think about all of the different people in their lives who have gotten them to the point they are today. So that's what I would like you to do. Visually, mentally, go back through all the people who have helped you, who have loved you into this position that you are right now. And what he did, and what I would like to do, is for you to take 10 seconds and just think about that person. And I'll watch the clock. So 10 seconds and go. Okay. How happy would that person be, or people be, to know that you have been thinking about them in that way? This, to me, is a very powerful message, and it's something that we should do on a daily basis, because in the end, we have had a strong group of supporters growing up as we've gone through our career, and we're now in roles where we can be those people. We can be those people for others that they think about. And so that, I wish the video had played. He says it 10 million times better than I ever could. But hopefully this gives you a different perspective than you had just a few minutes ago about your job, about what you're doing, and about how you got here. So, anyone want to share any of that? And if you don't, it's fine.
Well, I love that, first off, Leslie, and definitely thinking, for myself, it is really easy for me to pick out specific people throughout my life, because I wouldn't be where I'm at without, my support system, which brings me to the population that I work with. And Hannah, a lot of these people, once you kind of get in, you get knowing them and working with them. And I'm sure everybody on this list has individuals from a less than great background, but we are those people. They didn't have that support system, or mom and dad, or somebody to bail us out or do certain things. And we at this point in our careers and our life, sometimes have to be those individuals for other individuals and usher them, kind of the same way that we did. And that's something that really, even in the frustrating times, that's something that I try to remember, and it helps to keep going. So, but no, I really like that. I appreciate you bringing that up. That's cool.
I'm going to add to that. Leslie, this was a great example of how we do need to reflect. And when I was in education for 27 years, there were many, many, many days, especially during the 20 years as a counselor, that I would want to throw my hands up. And I kept a binder or a folder, and then it just kept growing and growing and growing over those 20 years of why I do this. And I would fill it full of email. I'd put emails in it, cards in it, thank you notes and all of that. And the days that I feel like throwing the towel in, I would pull out one of those. I would just grab something out of there, why I do this. And it would, fill you back up. And that got me thinking of how I could fill up someone else. So over the years, and I haven't done this recently, so I'm glad you showed this. I would just drop a thank you note in the mail, not an email. Sometimes I would throw a text out there if it's, but I would a thank you note to someone that made me who I am. An older teacher, a friend, someone that I had met along the way, and that made me feel great, and I hope that it made them feel great. So this is a good practice that you're bringing up here. So thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? I like the idea of keeping a record of those things and going back to it, because we all have days when I'm either pulling my hair out or I'm in tears, or we've all had those days. So having something to help us to re-energize, I think that's a great tip. I'm going to go through with the late notice, and I apologize. I had the idea for the survey at the end of the day yesterday, and so a lot of you have not had the opportunity to respond. But I will go through some of the responses that have been received thus far and discuss those. And my goal in sending it out was trying to figure out what's the best structure for this meeting. How can we all get the absolute most benefit out of this time? So that was the intent. The questions, there were 5 total. How would you rate the effectiveness of our partner team meetings? What's the main strength of the meetings? What's the main weakness of the meetings? What should be our primary goal for these meetings? And I think that's a very important question. And then I had an optional question: what additional ideas, input, or suggestions do you have regarding these meetings? So I'm going to share with you what I had received as of about 8 o'clock this morning. So I know more responses have come in. But here are some of the key takeaways. As of about 8 this morning, we had received 9 responses out of 68. And Deronda, is there an easy way to tell how many people we have in the meeting right now?
You have 18 participants, including you and myself.
Okay, so we've got 18 participants. Meeting effectiveness, the average, it was like a star rating from 1 to 5. 3.33 was our average. The strengths, and these came up repeatedly. The idea of networking, sharing stories, sharing information, communication, those were said over and over again. So I feel like that is something that we definitely need to continue. As far as weaknesses for just the meeting structure itself, it can be repetitive. There's not enough networking. Need more structure, need more employers. And I wanted to pause here to see if anyone in the meeting had feedback on these initial results. And it can be one, it can be all.
I don't know that this is necessarily what you're asking for, but I would like to put out a, hey, everybody. But hey, everybody, if you have information that you want shared and you're not sure if you're going to catch everybody on the partners, please email that to me. And I have a partner mass email, and I would be happy to send that out. I believe that when we did more in-person things, which I hope that we can come back to doing more of that maybe these things were more effective. These meetings were more effective, but I would love to share information for you. I would love to share information for you. So email me things, flyers, any information.
Very good. And yeah, I agree. I think moving to virtual, it's been it definitely has hit us. We've all got virtual meeting overkill, I think. And it's difficult to maintain momentum. Yeah, go ahead.
Kim Myers just put in the chat box, any insight on when we might get back to in-person? Not 100% on that, but I have a meeting today with some individuals about reopening the Career Center, some phasing of how we're going to do that. And I will share that information out after we have a little bit of a plan. And on June 11th, supposedly the governor will be lifting a lot of, restrictions that have been in place for so long. And at that point, I believe that we can have that discussion with John Swords about when we can do that, maybe July, August, September, and maybe do something quarterly. So we'll talk about that in phasing in more in-person meetings. I think that will be good for all of us in many ways.
Absolutely. And I think we can still give some sort of option where people can watch if they're more comfortable doing virtual, but there's nothing like being face to face.
Right.
There's no substitute for that. Okay, any other thoughts about what you see so far?
Leslie, I want to piggyback off what Leah said. We will be opening the offices June 14th. We will be going back and we'll be seeing our customers by appointment only, but that's our plan as of today for OVR with both career centers will be open.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Paula.
You're welcome.
So Paula, is that the Chestnut Street and Glasgow?
Glasgow and Fairview.
Is that Glasgow and Fairview? Okay.
Yeah. Leslie's on vacation. She may get you some more details later. We just found this out, but we will be going opening on Monday, June 14th, because the restrictions are off.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Contact me.
So will everybody will all of your employees be going back?
That is still in discussion. We will definitely have at least 2 workers, our normal 8 to 4:30 hours. There is a possibility of some of us still telecommuting based on evaluations and things like that. But our goal, we're working on it now to make sure that coverage will be then, but we can have walk-ins. It is going to be by appointment, and our referrals will be the same. You can, call and do those, but that was important to tell. We just found that out this week, so.
Good. And
great. Thank you for sharing that.
We're heading in that direction, which is very, very good news for all of us. All right, I'm going to move on to the next one. Again, further key takeaways. The main goal of the meetings, and this was just me asking, what do you think the main goal of the meeting should be? And we got a lot of really good responses. To identify potential collaborations and resources, to put a face to a name. We need introductions, to share news and needs, and to really communicate with each other. You know, not just talking off a script, but to really have dialogue. So thoughts on what you see here?
I'll say I agree. Yeah, one of the challenges is that we're all interacting with different aspects of the workforce system, whether it's businesses or job seekers, and helping to bring those together is really the goal of all this. So the more we can partner together and understand and know what's available. You may be interacting with a business that I'm not, and you may know of a talent pool that I don't know of, and so it's helpful for us to be able to work together on that and help folks get jobs and help businesses be successful.
Absolutely. All right, and if you have further thoughts, I mean, feel free to jump in.
Leslie, can I piggyback on what Bill just said? And he and I have talked about this, and he's been a great partner. But I think he's absolutely right. There's so many great things going on that almost exist in parallel. That if we can figure out how to bring everybody together and not duplicate efforts, but maybe strengthen those efforts. If Bill's doing something, if Bill it finds out about something going on in the area, he calls me, and then we brought him in on things, and that's in my peer team at KCTCS, the workforce solutions leaders across the state are really working on partnering with the Kentucky Chamber and OEAS and all of those, and we're doing that at a state level. So I'd like to see that replicated at a regional level, because individually we're good, but collectively I think we could be pretty freaking awesome, actually.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if we are a unified front, then our power increases, dramatically.
Yeah, and to the opposite of that, when there's multiple entities working with a company and none of them really are communicating about what they're doing, then that, sooner or later, if 5 people are knocking on the door of a company, that company stops answering because it's not a unified voice, and it's not purposely disjoint, I don't think, but it's I would agree with Bill. I would see that as the number one reason that this group should exist.
It is very easy for me to forget how many resources we actually have at our disposal sometimes. For instance, I get somebody that I can't really help, and it I might forget that Goodwill has a senior citizens program that can help them, or that Voc Rehab might be a feasible alternative. So it really helps me to hear what everybody has to offer, and to keep that in the forefront of my mind.
Very good. Any other thoughts or comments? Okay, optional ideas. And these were just suggestions if you had further ideas. And this one, I'm already getting excited about, because I think this could be very cool. A partner directory with the person's name, their photo, and you get to pick the photo, So don't worry, it won't be your driver's license picture because you will send whatever photo you want to use. Contact info, job title, and services. And to sort of address what Dr. Myers mentioned just a moment ago, I would like to try to configure this directory to where we can have sort of keywords and we can sort by, different audiences or services or something like that. But how useful would that be to have that, you can email it out, you can print it out. What are your thoughts on that?
For me, that's kind of what I use for my current position with the Department of Corrections. It's really easy, just those keywords to look up and think, okay, I've exhausted all the resources that I know, where else can I look? And I know that I can go to that spreadsheet and just see if there's anything else that I've missed, or maybe bring in other services.
Okay, I see like the little chat thing, sorry.
I think it would be very helpful. It would be very helpful to me personally. Absolutely.
Very good.
It could also be a Google Doc. Someone said it about being online so that changes can be made quickly. And then it could be shared, like, as you can go in and make your own changes if you change positions or if you add something else.
Right. And I definitely agree with that. We don't want it to be static, because if you do that and something changes, then we're just sort of, creating a new set of problems. So it would need to be where people could edit and update their information. And in chat, I saw a suggestion also, have partners talk about like their successes, what they're doing as far, and I can't remember the exact phrasing, share what they do, share an innovation. I think that would be very cool. Another suggestion was to frame the meeting as a solution meeting with partners sharing problems and needs. And I think you might have a set time to do that. Maybe not the whole meeting, but have a here's what I need kind of thing. Have icebreakers, have a specified topic or focus for each meeting. One other suggestion that came in after I had created the slides was to have a focus on a partner section, maybe for each meeting, so we get a more in-depth look at that specific partner. So thoughts on these? In chat, it seems like the directory is a go, and I can start moving forward with that. What are your thoughts on these other things? Or if you have other suggestions?
Leslie, I may have some information that would help you get that started. I'm not sure if anyone else gets these from Life Skills, and they summarize them and they keep them updated each month of all the resources.
That would be fantastic. I personally do not receive that. So
I'll get you that information. I usually send those to Amanda because she's so good, and her career counselors work in different counties. So she may have a career counselor working in Glasgow that doesn't really know Barron County. So that has been really helpful, and it is not online, but I could share that with you and be a start. And they do interagency meetings.
Would you mind to share that with me also, Leah Krischer?
Sure, I will.
That's fabulous. Because I do, look for resources for people. That would be awesome.
I would like to have that as well, please.
Okay. I'm not sure who, I don't know if I knew Amanda would get it to both offices, but I wasn't sure how that worked, but I'll get the information and send it out.
If you will just send it to me, I can then share it with all the partners.
Okay, that's
if,
what I'll,
if that's okay.
sure.
That would be great.
Awesome.
You're welcome.
And
Thank you,
Hannah,
Dr. Myers, for suggesting that.
And Hannah, I don't know if it's, if it would be considered confidential information, the sheet that you're talking about, but would it be possible to share that with me just so I could get ideas on how to structure? And if not, it's okay. But it sounds like it's sort of the type of thing that we're talking about here.
Sure. Mine's just one that I came up with. It's just an Excel spreadsheet.
Uh-huh.
I can remove any DOC information that might be confidential, but everything else is just public information from Google and other stuff that I just needed handy.
That would be great. And I will type my email into the chat before we end. All right. We're at 10:16, so I'm trying to stick to time. Okay, what are we missing? I feel like we have covered some very good ground this morning. Is there anything that we're missing? Is there anything that, we should, we should also consider this? Or what are your thoughts on what we've been talking about?
I think this is a great direction, Leslie, and I appreciate it very much.
Good deal. Well, my thought is, we need the absolute best way to make a meeting work is to talk to the people in the meeting. I mean, that is, in my opinion, the best way you can find success. Okay, in addition to partner focus, have partners should continue to have moments to share current happenings. So news, needs, focus on one partner, directory. Are there any other suggestions that we've talked about that I've left out of my list? I've got, and we do need to keep the intros, but I think today we kept that relatively short and moving pretty quickly. Is that something that you see as valuable? Again, just as a reminder with faces and so forth. All right, I'm going to take that as a yes. So next steps, I've got my list of here are things I need to start working on. My top priority will be getting a directory started. And what I will do is send a link, sort of like the survey that I sent out. It will be in Microsoft Forms format, and you can enter in your information, upload a picture, and then I'll also be looking at keywords and getting all of that together and housing it to where you can access it and also update it. I think that would be an excellent first step. So also asking people for news submissions, giving the opportunity for partners to discuss needs that they have, having a focus on one specific partner per meeting. And again, just a short time frame, but that will allow us more in-depth information about that partner. Anything else?
I think Dr. Myers wants to share something before we close out. So okay. I saw that in the chat box.
Okay. Kim, you go right ahead.
Okay, I didn't want to cut you off or butt in, so I just wanted to get on. I will tell you that one thing in the line of communication and collaboration, I mentioned earlier, and I apologize, I'm working from home today, and it is pouring rain, so I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm having a hard time hearing behind the scenes. So anyway, I mentioned earlier that I serve on a peer team, which basically means all of my colleagues across the 16 colleges in the Kentucky Community Technical College system. One of the things that that COVID has done and giving us so much opportunity to go virtual has really enhanced some collaboration that otherwise we had not had. So we're excited about that. But one of the things that has culminated from that is an event coming up, and I'll send this out, Leah, to you so you can share if you'd be kind enough to do that. But we're calling it Propel Kentucky, and it's basically an event that is hosted by our peer team, but will engage the Kentucky Chamber, OEAS, and all of those partners to really help folks focus on the resources that are available from a customized training standpoint, service opportunities, and really help companies look at how can they grow and how can we help them grow and build and develop a robust talent pipeline. I think that's somebody from the Kentucky Chamber described it to me, said, we are at near critical with respect to the workforce shortage. And our job as a group, I know as a partner team, is to, help people get to work and help employers find people. And while those are integrated, they're two very different roles, I think, that we serve. So this is designed to try to bring those together. There'll be an opportunity also to do some networking, connect with regional colleagues and discover some innovations that are underway in workforce development. And then here, maybe even the best part, I think, hearing directly from companies and the successes that they've had, some of the things that they've seen. So the date on that, again, I'll get this to Leah, but if you want to mark this on your calendar, and then please share it with companies, share it with other partners, share it with anybody across the state. It's Tuesday, June 22nd. It is a virtual event again, Tuesday, June 22nd from 9 to 11 Central Time, 10 to noon Eastern Time. So I'll send the little blurb out about it. And then next week early, I believe there'll be an invitation coming out that we'll share where you can just click and go on and register. It's a free event. We want as many people on there to learn. I mean, this is how I think we begin to bring some of that collaboration together. So I just wanted to, if you'll say that on your calendars, June 22nd from 9 to 11 Central, and then we'll get some information out to you via Leah. But thanks for the opportunity to share that, Leslie.
Absolutely. I mean, and it sounds like it goes hand in hand with everything we've been discussing. So absolutely. And that was called.
Great. I'll share that out.
It's called, we're calling it Propel, P-R-O-P-E-L, Kentucky. It's not an acronym.
Okay.
I went on the committee that came up with the name, but it works. Propel Kentucky, and it's workforce at the speed of business is sort of the little subtitle. But that'll be, I'll send that out to Leah as soon as we get off the call here.
All right.
And there'll be additional information coming.
Very good. Well, we are at 10:24, so I do not want to belabor our meeting. As I ended, this was, I can't remember if it was last meeting, maybe the meeting before last. I think it's interesting to get just, what is your one word takeaway from what we've had today in discussion? And you can type that in the chat. And I will, just like I've done for the past few meetings, I'll be sending slides and sending everything in the chat so that you have that information. And I will also send the actual clip of Mr. Rogers because it is awesome. And I will tell you to just watch it when you have a little private moment, because I've seen it probably 5 or 6 times and I cry every time. So I'm just giving you a heads up. So please type your one word takeaway. I feel encouraged. I feel, I'm very happy that we're getting input and communication, and when you feel like you're coming up with a team plan, that is always a good feeling. So I appreciate everyone's attendance. I appreciate your input. If the person or persons you thought about earlier this morning, if you're lucky enough to still have them on this earth, take the time today and send them a note. Send them give them a quick call. Let them know you appreciate them. Because it will mean a lot to them. And I guarantee when you hang up the phone, you're going to be energized and you're going to be glad you did it. But thank you all very, very much. I will be in communication with you all very soon, and have a good rest of your day. Even though it's rainy, have a good one.
Thank you so much, Leslie.
Hi, everyone.